So you may find yourself caught up in what other people are thinking, especially when you're out in public trying to do something that's new for you. However, the solution is not to completely block out what they think. It's actually impossible to do. And I'm sure you know by now the advice that's usually thrown out is that other people are thinking about themselves and they don't have time to think about you. But in reality, things like this don't work. So I got you. Let's go over what actually works. As humans, which I assume you are if you're watching this video, we naturally need to care about what people think, as we have communities and feedback that we get from other people. And in a good way, this shapes our life. If you really didn't care what people think, you might go crazy and do some things you have no business doing. So this isn't a bad thing. I call it the human condition. However you want to label that is fine. Another part of this human condition aspect is what I call the limit of control. And what that means is that you're not going to be able to stop caring about the opinions of things. I mentioned that in the intro, but I really want you to settle that down inside you, that you're never, ever going to eliminate what people think about you or stop caring about what someone thinks about you. It's not going to happen. This can be things like your hobbies, lifestyle choices, who you date, where you want to go, what kind of career you have. No matter what you do, you're always going to be somewhat concerned about what people are thinking. The reason I bring this up is because feedback as humans is really important for us because it helps us mesh well with society in a good way. I'm not talking about societal norms and things that the world wants you to conform to. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about as humans. We need that feedback. So completely eliminating someone's opinions about you means you would never get that feedback and we'd be doing all kinds of crazy things. Like those intrusive thoughts you get, hey, slap that person, tell this person that, blah, blah, blah. You would just do them. And that could get you in a lot of trouble. So we're going to go over the main solution to all of this and what actually works versus what the internet will typically tell you. And I call this simple concept choice. So choice is basically, instead of trying to not care what people think, you have to choose what to think about. So if I'm out in public and I'm worried about what people are thinking about me, all I have to do is to choose what am I doing in public? What am I choosing to think about? I'm here to do this. I'm here to get this. I'm with my friends. I'm doing this. That's my choice at the time. And so if you consciously make a choice to think about something, what's going to happen is naturally a lot of other things will dissipate. I'm going to use the gym as an example because this is a common place where people have a fear of what people are thinking. So if you go to the gym and you're worried about what people think, what this really means is that you don't have a game plan going in. And that's not a bad thing. It just means you need to make a choice. So for example, I do MMA. I've talked about it on my channel. When I'm at the gym, that's all I care about. I don't care about who's looking at me doing my exercises. I don't care about how I look in the mirror. All I care about is being a better fighter, better athlete, more flexible, stronger, able to explode faster, because that's what makes a good fighter. I do very unorthodox training at the regular gym. People do look at me, but again, I don't care.
We do not care.
I do handstands, human flags, because they help me become a better fighter. And that's all I care about. And so since that's all I care about, naturally, the opinions of others don't really cloud my mind. They may come up here and there, but again, I shift right back to choice, whatever I'm choosing to think about. This is something that's going to help you out in your life in general when it comes to people's opinions, because oftentimes, rather than choosing what they think, all you have to do is choose what you want to think. Another part of this main solution is authenticity and self-validation. And so basically what I mean by this is that whatever you really want to do, make it a practice to start doing that. So again, I'll use the gym for an example. Something I used to ask myself years ago when I would train at the regular commercial gyms to help my training on the mats is I would ask myself, what would I do if no one was here? I still ask myself this today. I say, what would I do if I was the only one in this gym? Now, of course, use discernment. Don't go doing anything crazy. But whatever the answer is, I do that. So if it's a set of handstand push-ups, freestand followed by pull-ups, I do it. And so overall, the main solution I want to get to you is that you need to encourage what you want to do and have that more prioritized than what someone's opinion may be. I don't know if that sentence is correct. It is what it is. Confidence, self-assurance, all that, it typically just comes from a place of choosing what you want to think about. Even making this video, I'm not really too concerned about lighting and the audio too much or how I look, whatever's in the background. I'm not too concerned. I'm more so concerned about the message and trying to get what worked for me out to you. Okay, something else that's going to help this out is finding a community. And this can be online, this can be people you meet out in public, maybe someone you see that has a similar style to you or similar interests. I would make it a point to bond with these people a little more. And what this is going to do is, as your community grows, or as you find more people like yourself, again, naturally, you're just not going to care about a lot of other things. You're not going to care about your parents' opinions or other family members' opinions or random strangers you come across. Finding your community is really important because then you realize there's more people like you out there. Anyways, let's go over how to make this permanent. So to make this permanent, you really want to start with self-compassion. And what this is understanding that this is going to take you a long time. This process of trying to not be concerned with other people's opinions, it's going to take a while. Some may get it faster, some it may take months, years. You may go out tomorrow and be fine. Again, be kind to yourself. There's going to be times where, especially in new settings, you're going to be concerned about what people are thinking about you, but that's fine. If you're new here, I lived in Japan for about 10 years. I was in the military there. Then I went to school there after the military, and then I started working there. And one thing that was always there was, how am I fitting into society? Especially the way I look, having a bunch of tattoos. Back then I had long hair, and I wasn't really that concerned with it because I got so much great feedback about my ability to speak Japanese and just working in general. However, some settings, it naturally came up of what I'm looking like there, especially because everywhere you go, people are staring at you. However, what I pointed out here as far as choice, it's so helpful that I really want to get that out to you, because if you choose to think about something that's important to you, really, it just clouds out everything else. But again, have some self-compassion with this because it does take a while. Another way to make this permanent is to embrace imperfection. And so understand that no matter what you do, there is no such thing as perfect at all. No one is perfect. And I know we hear that a lot, but again, this takes time. And as you internalize this, it is going to be permanent. And a lot of things you do, it really won't concern you anymore about how you look and how people are viewing you, because you'll understand that there is no way you can be perfect, and neither can they. And the final part of making this permanent is individuality. So as you choose things to care about or to focus on or to get into, it's going to make you different from everyone else. And that's something to actually be happy about. I used to struggle with all of this because as I grew up, having so many different interests that are outside of the norm for me, it was kind of strange, and you kind of got looked at weird. And what I mean as a norm is just being a black person. You know, I'm into guitar, piano, foreign languages, things like that. These days it's quite normal to be different, but when I was in school, it wasn't. You really were not looked at that well if you weren't the cookie cutter person you were supposed to be. I'll get into that in another video though. However, intuitively, no one ever taught me this, but intuitively, as I started to implement what I did here over the years, especially as I left school and went to the military, and now I'm in my 30s, it's so normal now to just be myself. And a lot of it comes from just what I laid out today, choosing what to think about. Finding my community is a big thing, because you'll also discover there's a lot of people like you, in a sense, not exactly like you, but there's a lot of people who are sort of like you. And as you find them, it actually boosts your confidence, because you understand, okay, I'm not some strange oddball person. And so next time you find yourself stressing out about other people's opinions and what people may think of you with your lifestyle choices, what you wear, what you're doing, anything like that, just try to come back to this video mentally, or literally pull up your phone, bring it up, watch it, and understand that when you make a choice to think about what you want to do and find your community and make it a daily practice, it gets easier, and over time, a lot of those other things will just fade away. And so at the end of the day, when you're authentic and you're really yourself, and you validate yourself, and you have a good audience or a community to build with, it's a really freeing feeling. I have that, and I really want that for you. So please follow the steps I laid out here. Try to implement it into your daily life. And if you found this video helpful, leave a like and a subscription. You don't have to, but it helps me out a lot. However, if you don't, I'm going to put this bomb under your pillow tonight, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.